Hello you guys, welcome back to the channel. Today is Saturday and I'm here once again with another video. I hope you guys are having a wonderful weekend. I have a long weekend. We're off on Monday. It's a federal holiday. So I just have some time today, and so I decided that I would bring you guys a video, one that's very near and dear to my heart, and I think it's something that we all should be talking about. I think sometimes we shy away from it because a lot of times we don't understand it or know what to do for it. So today we're going to be talking about protecting your mental health. Protect your mental health. And I hope that this will be something that will help someone who may be struggling, or if there's someone in your life that you know, that you love and care about, that you feel needs some assistance in protecting their mental health or pointing them in directions of trying to get some mental health. Therapy is definitely what I hope to accomplish with uploading this video. I want to say hello to all of my new subscribers. Hello and welcome, and thank you for stopping in today. Thank you for choosing my channel as something that you would want to view, and I hope that you find things here that will be of help to you, that will make you laugh and smile, that will encourage and inspire you. And if you feel so, please feel free to subscribe to this channel by pressing the subscribe button right now, and give me a thumbs up and let me know that this was something that was helpful to you. And to all of my faithful followers that have been rocking with me for a minute, guys, I love you so much. Thank you for tuning in once again. So we're going to jump into the video, and I have 9 essential steps to protecting your health. I actually did a lot of research. I do have people in my family that are affected by mental health issues, and so it's been something that I've had to deal with on and off throughout my entire life. So I know that at some point in life, mental health will touch everyone. If it's not directly, it will be indirectly. It will be through someone that you love and care about. Even if it's not a family member, it may be a friend or an associate. So it is certainly something that we should actually look at and know a little bit about, so that we may be able to assist someone or help them or point them in the right direction. So I'm going to jump into it this morning. And I don't have my glasses right here, so I hope that if I'm looking down, I'll be able to see it. But yeah, the first one that I want to talk about in protecting your mental health, and let me scroll to it. I think that especially in the Black community, we sometimes have pride, and we don't feel that we need to talk to anyone, or we're ashamed, so therefore we try to keep it a secret, and we try to deal with it in private. And a lot of people, and I think I touched on this in another video, there are a lot of people that are functioning in society that have mental health issues, and they function, they work, they have families, they have friends, and they do normal everyday activities, but they're suffering in silence with mental health. So one of the first things that I would suggest is to try therapy. A lot of people don't realize that if you go to someone who is a professional and they don't know you, sometimes it's a little bit easier to tell people the things you're suffering from rather than going to people that you know. And because our friends and our loved ones sometimes can be very judgmental. We know that. They can judge you. And guys, we don't want to be judged. We don't want to be looked down upon. We don't want to be looked at as if we're crazy, or, just that judgmental type of attitude that sometimes people who know you, or we might feel that someone may share the things that we're dealing with. So it's sometimes great to talk to someone that can have an objective opinion about what you're going through, and they can give you a way to work through it, or look at things in a different way. And sometimes talking through the things that you need, just being able to unload and have somebody listen objectively, not judgmentally, can help you just to be able to get it out and to see for yourself the areas of your life. So there's a lot of things that therapy can do for you. It can help you. It can have a blueprint of ways that you can yourself can work through the things that you're going through. So I certainly suggest that try therapy. And these 9 steps that I'm giving you are not in any particular order, because some people may try different things before they decide to go to therapy. So I'm just throwing them out there. I was taking notes. I actually used some things that I thought about myself when dealing with people that I had come across that suffer from mental illness. So that was number one, trying therapy. All right, number two, find a community. Find a community of people who have been where you are. That is some of the best help that you can. Oftentimes, like when women go through divorce, just using that for an example, sometimes getting with a bunch of women that have actually gone through the same thing can be so therapeutic. Being able to help people who understand you and actually develop relationships with them. So sometimes you can seek out, if you don't want to do the professional therapy, seek out a support group. There are a lot of mental health support groups. You just have to get out there and look. In every city, in every state, you can find a support group of people, and you can develop some of the best friendships from those community of people who have suffered and been through the same things, or they may have had loved ones who have gone through it, and they can share with you and give you that support and give you that that love and nurturing that you need. Whereas maybe your brother, your sister, your best friend, your cousin or aunt or uncle, mom or dad may not understand. Having a community of people who have shared in these things can be so helpful to you. So find a community that will be able to help you grow through this. Number three, setting boundaries. We have to set boundaries, guys. You cannot say yes to everything. Sometimes I think overloading ourselves, overtaxing ourselves, overwhelming ourselves, creating anxiety in our lives is one of the biggest contributors to mental health, because we feel that we can't tell people no when there's things that they ask you to do, want you to do with your life, or support them in something, and your life and your plate could be so full, but you're too busy trying to be a people pleaser that you overexert yourself trying to do everything that everybody wants. You have to set boundaries. Sometimes you just have to simply say no. Don't worry about whether or not someone understands or get upset. And you don't really have to go through this deep thing of explaining yourself to people, trying to make them understand why you said no. Sometimes it's just simple no. You got too much going on. I'll try to help you when I can the next time, but right now that I have too much going on, so I'm going to have to turn this down. It's that simple. We just have to set the boundaries ourselves and not allow people to overtax our lives, because you guys, y'all know our own lives can be overwhelming, just the things that we have to deal with every single day. Setting boundaries. Also, not allowing people's drama. Families sometimes can have drama. They can pull you into their drama. I am a witness to that. I've often tried to be the mediator in my family and try to, dissolve any conflict, try to get in between family and try to work it out and try to get them to talk and let's be a family. And oftentimes end up being the person that the blame, because, you're getting pulled from different people on sides of the family. So some people feel that you're disloyal if you're not believing in them and pulling away from the other person. But when I'm trying to resolve and trying to just make everybody get along, I'm not choosing a side, so therefore I'm the enemy. So sometimes, getting caught up in other people's mess can extend you, and it can cause you anxiety and stress in your life, and it starts to break you down. So that is one factor. Setting boundaries and tell people that you can't be a part of certain things. Sometimes don't allow people to pull you into things. And I'm at this point now where, as one of my granddaughters say, she's living her best life. I'm living my best life. And so if people decide to get upset with me because I set boundaries when it comes to drama that they've created in their lives, or they have with other members of my family, or even friendships of people, and I don't choose to be a part of that, then they just have to be upset with me. Because if you love somebody unconditionally, you're not going to be upset with them because they don't want to be a part of that. Set boundaries in your life. That's number three. Number four, and this one is one that I really support so much, is to engage in mindful living. Engage yourself in mindful living, guys. It could be activities, things that you enjoy doing. Go out, take a walk, take a trip. If you have hobbies that you love, if you like to music, if you have instruments that you play, or you're an artist, you're a painter, or what else, a photographer, go out in nature and take pictures. Meditation, exercising, these are all things that will help you to not overtax yourself. Engaging in mindful living. Cut yourself away from the stresses of life. When you leave that job where it is. It's going to be there when you go back. When you leave on a Friday, if you're a Monday through Friday 9 to 5 person like I am, it's going to be there Monday. And trust me, if you didn't come Monday, that job will continue to go. So leave that job there. And when you take your time off, when you have your weekend off, or whatever days of the week you have off, engage in mindful living. Cut away from all of that and do some things that you really enjoy doing that makes you smile. Go see a movie, go see a play, a concert. Go visit friends and family. Cook out. Sit up under the tree. Drink some nice juices. Have a cocktail, a glass of wine, a cup of coffee. Life begins after coffee. Do those things that bring smiles to your face, that makes you relax. Make sure you're engaging in mindful living. Number 5, that was number 4. Number 5 is to break up with perfectionism. I can't even say it. Perfectionism. We sometimes, and we know it, can be perfectionist. We want everything to be perfect. Our home has to be perfect. Our jobs have to be perfect. What we present to the public has to be perfect. The way we look has to be perfect. Everything in your life, you don't have room for any mistakes. And if it's not looking a certain way, you can stress yourself out trying to make things perfect. I have resolved that it's not going to be perfect. Everybody's not going to like you for you. Everybody's not going to like your look. Everybody's not going to like your style. Whatever it is that you're doing, stop trying to be perfect, because there's no one in this world that walks this earth that is perfect. You will never achieve perfectionism. You will never, let me get closer, never achieve that. So give it up, because you will worry yourself to death. And then when you make a mistake, guess what? You're so hard on yourself. Sometimes we can be our own worst critics. We will judge ourselves, we'll fall out, we'll be upset, we'll pout, we'll stomp, we'll throw tantrums, we get our blood pressure up, and that certainly can spiral you into some mental health issues. So stop trying to be a perfectionist. Number 6, take daily break rituals. And this is one that I actually seen on the internet. It says carve out small chunks of time where you are focused on doing something that renews your mind, body, and soul. It can be singing in your car, brisk walks, deep breathing, anything that provides you with respite and momentum along the way. Sometimes you just have to take that break. Go outside and take you 10 inhales of breath and exhale. Sometimes you just have to break it up. When you feel the stress coming on, when you feel the anxiety creeping in, take a break. Last night my mind is full of a lot of things that I'm trying to achieve. And so I've not been sleeping very well at night. And I got up and I sat on the side of the bed and I took some deep breaths. And this had to be about 2:30 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Y'all probably see the bags under my eyes because I still get up very early. I was up at 6 o'clock this morning. And I sat on the side of the bed and I talked to myself and I said, Lydia, you have too many things going on. My mind was racing. All these things I need to do. All these things I need to do. I need to go check on my mom. She lives in another city. My grandchildren, I try to carve out time for them when I'm home. And I was thinking about all these things I got to do. When I go home, I'm going to visit my dad who lives an hour away. So I only have a short window of time when I go home for Thanksgiving. So I'm thinking about that. I'm thinking about the money I need to put aside because I try to put aside a little money every 2 weeks so that I can put that toward retirement. Because I'm trying to retire in 2 years, which will be significantly early because, retirement really now, they've moved it to 67. It used to be 62, then they moved it to 65, now it's 67. So being in my 50s and trying to retire early is a lot earlier. So, but this is what I want to do. It's because I have things I want to do. I want to travel, and I'm trying to make time for that. So I'm like thinking about that, thinking about all these things, trying to go to the continent at the end of the year, or hopefully it'll be 2020. And just all of these things I got going on in my mind, making sure that I pay these bills, my debt down that I have, got things paid off, cars paid off. I have big chunks of things that I have put it in, but just mind just racing. So I had to take a deep breath, sit on the side of the bed and take some deep breaths. And I said, lay down. This is your time to relax and to get some sleep. So that worked, guys. It actually, talking to myself, taking those deep breaths, I had to take a break. And that's what I did. So make sure you do that. Number 7 is practice self-care. Prevention is less costly than repair. Trust me, it is. Research shows that this is the time to uphold lifestyle medicine principles such as proper sleep. Who would have thought? I just said that. Nutrition, exercise can provide the kind of lift that helps us rejuvenate. We certainly don't want to end up in the doctor's office because we suffering from high blood pressure, diabetes, heart troubles, strokes, all of that because we're worrying constantly, causing this mental health. Your mental health can take effect on your physical health. So you have to make sure that you're providing yourself, eating right, sleeping right. I have been practicing getting in bed early because I am a very short sleeper, and that had a lot to do with menopause. But I try to lay down by 10 p.m. at night. Doesn't always work, but I've been doing pretty good by getting in bed. I do wake up a little bit earlier, but you got to make sure you practice that so that you can live longer, and that can affect your mental health as well. Number 8, find your fun and funny. Humor is cited as a significant protective factor that contributes toward resilience. When you take life too seriously, we can become cynical, jaded, and hypocritical. Taking time to be playfully and silly can help break tensions that can have negative effects on our well-being. Guys, sometimes people think when you get a certain age that you cannot be funny, that you can't have fun, that you can't be silly. I dance. I love to dance. So sometimes when I'm off camera, I'm sitting in my apartment, I open up my windows, I turn my music on, and I dance in here to the beat of my own drum. I don't care who's watching, because I want to make sure that my life is full, that I'm smiling, that I'm enjoying it. Be silly sometime. Go out with your girlfriends and just have a good time. Laugh till your belly aches. I go out with my girlfriends sometime, guys, and I will laugh till I have to run to the bathroom. It is so beautiful to be able to laugh, and doctors have said laughing and enjoying life can greatly increase your life, and it can take the stresses off of you that can create mental illness. Number 9, and this is the final one, and I'm sure there are a lot more, but these are the 9 that I thought were very important. Avoid consumerism. The promises of retail therapy, being cool, or having status can lure us into spending money on stuff we don't need. Research shows that when we move away from the good life to the good life, one that focuses on spending our time and our money on lasting things like relationships and legacy, would be more inclined to flourish and thrive. That is so true, guys. I've heard people say, I was hurting, so I did a little retail therapy. But guys, oftentimes when you're taking that plastic and you go out there and you're swiping, it's fun while you're doing it. It's fun. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt. Buy the things you love, you come home, you style and you fix yourself up. Now, I'm not telling you if that's something that works for you, do you. But overall, we'll say on average that oftentimes people overspend. And then later on, when that debt starts to pile, and this is one of the things that falls up under that mental health, when you feel like you're just full of debt, you got stuff just piled up on you, you feel like you can't ever get out from up under this debt, we tend to stress, which can affect our mental health. Feeling like this is going to be never ending, that we'll never be able to retire, that we can never be able to do those things we love because we're so covered up in debt because of the things that we're out here spending, buying cars and things like that, and doing things. The good life is truly those things that affect the heart. Being able to have good relationships with your family and friends. And if you don't have family that are of blood, make family. Family don't always have to be blood, guys. Some of my best friends are closer to me than some of my family members. It is no shade in that. It is what it is. I have made some deep, lasting relationships with a couple people that are like my blood family. It is what it is. And when you make friends with people, you know, they can fill your life up with so much joy. And sometimes people feel you have to have a big circle of people. I don't. I have less than 5 people that I consider to be friends. And they are some of the best friends I have that I will give my life for. I will give my life for. They mean the world to me. So start putting your value in the things that are not purchased. Those are the things that's going to be lasting. All of that materialism can be taken away, guys. And like I said, you're going to find yourself in a lot of debt. I want to get rid of all this stuff. I don't need any of this stuff. All I need is my friendships. I need my grandchildren, my family, my children. And that's all I need, guys. And smiles. Just enjoying life. When I travel, I want to have a backpack, guys. I'm just going to tell you like it is. My backpack, my laptop, you know, and just travel, you know, and just enjoy life. I don't have to have all of this stuff. And I'm not saying that your life has to be this way, but that's what works for me. Because I want to see the world. That is the biggest thing I have on my bucket list. To be able to travel around the world, to experience different cultures, to smile, to laugh, to not stress, not suffer with mental health. You know, mental health can, you know, catapult people into things like dementia and Alzheimer's because they have lived a life of stress their entire life. I don't want that to be me. And I certainly wouldn't want that to be you. So I hope that these 9 tips can be something that you guys can think about, that you can start to practice if you find yourself feeling like you're headed toward that way of mental illness. Depression can certainly take us to that place. Being sad all the time, you know, can certainly take you there. So if you recognize anything that feels familiar, try some of these things and it may help you deal with this situation before it gets out of hand. And this is something that's very serious, and I just felt the need to come on and to share it because oftentimes I hear people that hit me up on email and they're very sad, and it's very concerning to me, you know, because they can't find a way to find balance in their life where they can separate themselves from the stresses that their life is creating. We have to find that middle boundary line where we can walk away from some of that, you know, so that we can make sure our minds are clear and that we can live a happy, well-balanced life. So thank you guys for listening today. Thank you for tuning in. I hope that this was helpful. And I will see you guys later on. I hope that you all will have a fantastic weekend. Be safe in whatever you're doing. Remember, I love you guys. And thank you so much for all that you do, the support that you give me. And remember always, peace and love. Bye, guys.